Captain Tenera stood beside Rakoa. The green-scaled lizard loomed over the little catfolk menacingly. Yet everyone on the battlefield knew which one should be feared more than the other. "Are the runes ready?" the short catfolk asked. His staff was pulsating light every minute or so. "They are ready, sir." Tenera knelt beside him. He pulled out 2 scrolls, one detailing the current intel, and the second on the prepared runes that had been set on the battlefield. "Rise." He patted the giant lizard on the back. Tenera rose from his position and immediately fell again to his back as another explosion rocked the battlefield. "It's interesting how they could summon an explosion from far away," Rakoa calmly stated as he cast a protective spell across the 2nd Regiment. A trail of blood can be seen from his nose. "Bring me the next potion." Tenera hastily ran to the crates and grabbed a handful of potions for Rakoa to drink. Even the hero of the Empire has their limit. "It's a shame we have to fight them," he mused, as he drank the potion in one gulp. "I have never seen explosions like these, have you?" "No, sir. We also haven't detected a single mana trace or runes on the enemy side. It matches our intel, then." Rakoa's robes swished around, staff waving in his hand, as he cast yet another spell beyond Tenera's comprehension. "A mannerless people with this much prowess, I wonder if—" Thud! A loud thud came from in front of him, as if a hammer had been thrown into a thick carpet. Tenera turned to look at Rakoa. The hero stood on the open field, motionless. Did he not hear the sound? "Sir!" Rakoa suddenly dropped to the ground as if he was a puppet with his strings cut. Did he suffer from another mana overload? Tenera thought. He ran toward the fallen hero, only to discover his face in shock, eyes wide. One might dismiss it as another case of severe mana overload, if not for the hole on his head, soaking the furs red. Thud! 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 "Tenera?" "How? He was right there. The hero couldn't simply just die like this. Is this a trick? Another spell from the enemy?" Thud! 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 No, he couldn't possibly have failed. Did he? He was supposed to be his guardian, but no one had even approached him. How? Thud! 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 "Mr. Tenera!" Tenera woke up from his bed, gasping for air. He dashed to the windows where the noise had come from. "Oi, Mr. Tenera, wake up! It's time for work!" the knocker-upper shouted, his thin stick poking the window repeatedly. "Goodness, sir, you look drenched!" The little lizard cackled at his sight, before moving to another apartment to wake up. Tenera reeled back from the window. "Yes," he thought to himself. "It was all in the past, don't think about it. The voices are just the knocker-uppers I hired to wake me up." He sighed, rising from the floor and marching toward the bedroom. He looked in the mirror and realized that the lizard wasn't lying at all. He looked horrible. He grabbed a brush and began to brush his teeth mindlessly. Those nightmares had been haunting him ever since that fateful day, even after the war had been over, and his retirement. He was still left wondering, how? After preparing himself for work, with the smell of bread still fresh from his mouth, the giant lizard rushed toward the steel factory. He was quite early, with no one else on the factory line, though not for long. "Tenera! Early as always!" the human cheered. "You too, Lee." The lizard marched forward to clasp his hand. It was a strange feeling. 20 years ago, the Empire's war with humanity ended in a disaster. But instead of taking territory or enslaving the people, the humans had instead requested for an abolitionist treaty, some reparation and an immigration pact. That was it. Now, even after the portals where those humans had come from had been closed, thousands have remained in the Empire. The Empire had largely moved on from that war, having finally seen the benefit of having a literal otherworldly knowledge. Literally. "You know, sometimes I wonder how things turned out this way," Tenera mumbled absent-mindedly as other workers began pouring in. "Same. You know, before the closure of the portal and raids, I was actually part of the military." "Really? You never looked like a soldier." "I guess so," Lee chuckled, as he grabbed a handful of boxes. Well, I was from China. Joined the army thinking I will fight in the coast of Taiwan. Instead, now I am stuck here in some other world, working for 12 hours a day in some steel factory, he grunted. A terrible career choice in hindsight. I was part of the Empire 3rd Regiment, actually, the lizard replied. It's crazy how fate works. Aye, maybe we have met before in the war. Probably not, since I was a sniper. Oh? What's a sniper? Well, it's... The bell rang, signalling the start of their work. I would tell you about it later. Maybe I should show you my rifle later. I haven't sold it yet. He whistled a song in his native language as the two moved toward their place. If you say so. Tenera moved toward his post, wondering if they ever met, and shrugged that silly thought off. He hadn't even met a single human on the battlefield. What a silly thought.